I can't, no. Hello, and welcome to the channel. My name is Riggs, and on this channel we do vaping product reviews because we can't do vape tricks. I kind of suck at it. And if I made a vape tricks video, it'd be all about 3 seconds long. And I would simply just look like a goldfish prostrating itself all over the place while it's gasping for air. Yeah, not a pretty sight. Not a pretty sight. However, this is a pretty sight. This is the Death Trap 24mm RDA single coil by Deathwish Mods. And we got these in the shack, and so I thought I would check it out. So this one here was given to me for the purpose of this review by the Vape Shack in Mildenhall, where I work. Yeah, and no, it's not going to change my opinion of it. So we're gonna jump down to the close and up and have a look, break it all down, and then put it back together. We'll put a build back in it. We'll pop back up, and I'll give you my thoughts, and let you know what it sells for, and if you're better off saving your money for something else like postage stamp collecting. It's something I've done for many years, and it's an enjoyable and expensive pastime. It's an expensive pastime, but it's enjoyable. So yeah, let's go. Let's have a look. Okay, so here we've got our RDA. It's all tore apart. And before we jump into that, let's have a look, as usual, what we get in the box. This time I am going to show the box because you get this little gravestone. It's got little R jaws, and it's got Death Trap 24 on the bottom. Deathwish Mods, a little skull with some inverted crosses, for your old rock on, Hollywood rock on. And then you're going to get this little bag of peripherals. That's it. That's pretty much it. Bag of peripherals. It's got 4 O-rings on. You're going to get 1 spare for each one of those. You'll get your 510 pin and a spare clamp with a spare set of screws to hold that clamp down. Now your RDA is it's 24mm. On the bottom you're going to get laser etched skull, 2 inverted crosses again, and I've got number 450 here, 450. So everyone with 451 and up, I win. Now the build deck. This is where it's all going on. Actually, this build deck is pretty impressive. You're gonna get 2 O-rings, and then you're gonna get this lip. So you're gonna get that sort of third line of defense. Your top cap is gonna sit and then bottom out on top of this lip here. The machining on this thing is that it's really good. You're gonna get Deathwish engraved on the bottom of the deck there. I don't know if my poverty-stricken camera can point that out. Your negative clamp system is milled straight out of the same lump of metal that the entire deck. So you're gonna get your peak insulator is gonna traverse the whole circumference of where your positive clamps in, and then it's held in by your 510 pin. Really deep juice well here. The only sort of notch out is down here, so that it comes around, and this is going to be for your airflow that comes in the front, and then your indirect airflow is not really adjustable. You can turn your cap and block these off, but I'm not really sure there's going to be a whole lot of reasons as to why you would want to do that. Now your clamp system, you can fit, oh, there goes my doggy. You can fit 2 mil legs in here, 2 mil wide legs in here before you really start hitting up against the 2 screws here on the side. And they can be quite thick. I haven't actually measured just how thick they are, but I don't know anybody that is going to need lumps of metal in there that size. Chances are you're not going to heat them up with anything sort of conventional that we use for vaping if you did. Your positive clamp is going to be, it's huge. It is absolutely massive. You're going to get this hole in the back that's for your indirect airflow, and then you've got this sort of leg that comes out. This is where your 510 is going to be. So yeah, this is quite a hefty little lump of metal sitting in there. Your peak insulator is going to be in 2 sections. You're going to get this one spacer divider here, and then on your 510 screw, this is the squonking pin. You're going to have this peak spacer. It can only really go in one way. One side of it is flat, and the other side is recessed for your pin, whether it be your standard 510 or whether it be your squonking pin, to drop in there. Woohoo! And it's gone, ladies and gentlemen. That thing's got a death wish. See what I did there? Yeah, I did that. Yeah, so it just recesses in there. It just slots right in, and then your positive post is going to lock into place because it is tight. It is a tight fit. There is no movement, no room for movement. Once it's into place, it is in there. And as you can see, you can mistakenly think that it's pushed in because it's really hard now. It's really hard to push that in. But if you look, you can see that the 2 holes are not lining up. So we're not quite into place there. So if you do take that out like I have, you're probably going to have a little bit of an ordeal to put that back into place. Okay, so that was the close-up look at the Death Trap by Deathwish Mods. Lots of death. They could have a it's like a double death, you know, Death Trap, Deathwish. You could have a two coil version, call it the double death. You're thinking now. You're thinking, shoo, you might be onto something here. Yeah, yeah. No. Yeah. Well, you know, that's how innovation starts, all right? Ask Steve Jobs. So what do I really think about it? All the crap aside, what do I think? Well, I really, really like it. I really like it. Actually, I thought that I wouldn't, and I thought at the price that it was. I mean, to be honest, I saw the price. I didn't like it. Yeah. Right away, I didn't like it. I was like, no way. And then, you know, single coil, I was like, nope, that's strike 2 right there, you know, already. One more strike and I probably wouldn't have even tried it. But the curiosity in me, you know, it got the best of me, and I thought, wait a minute, I gotta check this out, because why has it got a 65-pound price tag on it? 65 pounds for a single coil. 24 mil RDA. Why is it 65 pounds? So I had to try it. So you know, I brought it home and I've extensively used this for the past week. And I have to admit, I can see why it's 65 pounds. First of all, the quality of the build, the design, everything, it's on point. there's no space wasted. For example, the build deck, as you saw, you know, it's got those two big clamps, and when you put them in there, they equal sort of like half of the build deck. And you know, that's a really good idea, because a lot of the single coil RDAs that we've seen before, you know, they're two posts. You put your legs in them and you clamp it down. You know, but there's a lot of space going on back then. And with these, it actually it removes that space, which is actually a good thing, because it's keeping the chamber even tighter. If you just got two posts there and there's extra space, there's turbulence and stuff, because as you pull in, it's hitting those posts and stuff, and it's redirecting airflow. You know, because even the smallest protrusion or smallest thing can alter the way that the airflow is, and that can alter the flavor. I mean, if you put a wank build in it, you're just going to get wank flavor anyway. There's no getting around that. But if you get the build right, yeah, the RDA, if it's just a wank RDA, you're right back to the beginning of the wank kind of thing. You know what I mean? But so there's been a lot of thought that's gone into this, and it's smooth. Everything has been executed. The top cap, you know, for example, is a mil thick. Now that's quite thick, because a lot of the RDAs we've been seeing coming out, they're less than a mil thick. And you think, why is that a big deal? Well, it's not a huge deal. It's definitely not a deal breaker, you know, by any means. But what it means is that because this is a very squat sort of tight chamber, you don't want the chamber heating up super quick, you know. So you know, they made the top cap a millimeter thick, so it takes a little bit longer for that to heat up. But to be honest, even with this coolant, and I do chain bake, I haven't had a problem with that heating up. You know, actually, it's been warm. It's been warm, but you know, I'm not lighting up. I ain't lighting any fires. This is not a lightsaber, and I'm not Darth Vader. And sometimes I do feel like that handsome devil. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? No, that's Elvis. Did Elvis wear a black? Nah. No, the Force definitely wasn't with him, was it? Anyway, so yeah, you know, it's kind of semi high end. It's kind of like can you have an intermediate high end? I'm not really sure, but it's kind of there. It's one of those, if you could afford to buy it outright, fine. It's worth it. You're not going to throw your money away. If you wanted it, and you know, like a lot of us are on a budget, so you think, well, you know, is it worth me saving a couple of weeks for when I can just get some? It's worth it. You know, if you wanted something that that you could actually put in your collection and have it for a while, and I think that you would appreciate going back to it, you know, time and time again. The Death Trap is definitely that. There are, and I could spew out all of these pros, and you know, and that's a lot of pros. You know, the build quality, the design, the placement, the tapering and conical of the top cap, the adjustable airflow, the indirect airflow that actually works, 810 drip tip, you know, on and on and on. But there are some cons, you know. And the biggest gripe for me is there's no springs on this freaking clamps. So you have to, you undo the screws, and then you try and flick it up, or you try to get it with the leg of the coil, and it just wants to fall down or not stick, or so you end up having to turn it upside down. And if you've got it on the mod, it's a huge pain in the butt trying to get your coils upside down like this. So you end up taking the RDA off the mod, and then, you know, just put some springs on it, man. It's 2018. Please, just for ease, undo the screws, your clamp is up, you slide them in, you clamp it done. I mean, am I just being lazy? Am I just being a pain in the ass? But that's it. I like springs. I like springs. You know, also the you know, don't look in it when you're squonking. Bad idea if that bottle's low. Woo. That's pretty much it. That literally is pretty much it. You know, you got dual O-rings, the tolerances on all of the O-rings, the tolerances on the peak insulator, the tolerances on, you know, the positive clamp locking and snugging down into place, and the juice well, you know, it's thought out. Everything is right on the money, and it's been an absolute pleasure. So I personally think that it's worth the money. You know, you may not. That's entirely up to you. It's absolutely fine. I'm really glad that I've had the chance to use it. So that's it from me. You know, I hope at the very least, you know, you found this informative. You've gotten some information, especially if it comes to making a decision on it. So you go for it, and I will see you on the next one.